Hello, my beautiful LOOMIS ladies, Diane, Helen, Ruth, Judy, and Helene. I can picture all of you right in front of me, and you're all in my heart every day, every day. So I'm really happy to make this video for you. It's going to be similar to the core class that I used to teach. There's a little bit of a change in a few things that I've learned since I've seen you. So again, I hope you find this helpful and useful and just nice to reconnect. So as part of this practice, I'd invite you to have your straps. I know you usually always do. I like to use blocks under my knees when I sit. You can sit on a cushion, sit on your mat, sit in your chair, right? Any way that is perfect for you. So we're going to begin to settle into our practice this morning, this afternoon, whenever you're practicing. I'm filming this on Christmas Eve day. So I feel like it's a gift to be back with you again. So let's begin to drop in. Begin to go inside. Perhaps closing your eyes or softly gazing to the earth. Begin to see if you can slow down a bit. I know that's a challenge for many of us, myself included. But take this next hour for self-care. You are worth it. It is so important for all you do for others to take this time for you. So feel the earth beneath you. Whatever parts of your body are connected to the earth, feel that earth energy, that beautiful support, the grounding. And then as you do, invite space between your vertebrae. Lengthen the crown of the head right up toward the sun. Invite relaxation into your face and into your jaw. Maybe separate the teeth a bit. And then down into the throat. Inviting that relaxation to continue through your shoulders. Maybe roll them back a couple times. Just to reset that alignment. Because remember, we want ears, shoulders, and hips when we're sitting to be in alignment. So if you tend to have a head forward a bit like I do, just draw that chin back a bit, lining up. Stretching through here and strengthening through the back. Draw the shoulder blades to back body. Make space for those big, beautiful hearts to shine, as well as making more space for breath. Continue to invite relaxation down the arms, into the hands and fingers, down the front and back of the body, into the legs, into the feet. Begin to connect and witness your breath. Hear it, feel it. You might hear others in class, their breath, the interconnection, right, the golden web. And perhaps at this time, invite anyone into your practice you'd like to share it with, wherever they may be. Sitting in stillness for the next moment or two, again, feeling and connecting with your breath. Through the nose, through the mouth, or a combination. And now I'm going to invite you into the pranayama structured breath practice that Diane likes. I remember she liked this one. So I've tried to put into this practice things that people have told me they liked. And a few things maybe you don't like that are good for us, right? So let's sit tall in our seated Tadasana mountain if we're in a chair, or Sukhasana, easy pose if we're on the mat. Inviting hands home to heart, maybe palm to palm or one hand on top of the other. And then on the inhale, we're gonna rise up with the arms. Now, again, be mindful of your shoulders. Do whatever you can. You might look up with your eyes only, or you might tilt your chin. Feel the stretch and length through the body. Nice. And then looking straight ahead, we're going to take the right arm to the mat. Left arm is going to lengthen up. We're going to lean over. Stay with your breath. You might want to rock a bit. Again, whatever helps you to drop into practice. And let's move the wrists and hands any way that you'd like, and then the other way. This is the yoga wave, right? We're giving ourselves the yoga wave. And then pause here. Feel that beautiful side stretch. Breathe into the side body. And then transition up again to victory or cactus arms, whatever is best for you. Remember, you're customizing your practice to what it is that you need today. And then we're going to bring the other arm down, lengthen here, and come up and over. Notice how everything is feeling. Find your gaze. Remember your drishti, right? That has a lot to do with how your neck feels. I know several of us work with some neck sensitivities here. So looking up, straight ahead, or down to the hand that's connected. And then the yoga wave here. Remember, snap, crackle, pop, creak, crack. All normal. Go the other way, please, unless there's pain. Right? Pain is the red flag we don't want. And then find stillness. Coming up again, lengthening, continuing with our pranayama practice, our connection, breath, and movement. Inhale here. And then we're going to slowly find a rotation. Gentle twist. Maybe drawing that same side hip back a bit. One hand in front, the other hand behind you. Find that beautiful length in spine. You can keep your chin parallel to your shoulder, or maybe tuck it in a bit if you would choose to do that. Good. And then we're going to slowly unwind, and as we do, rise up again. Good. Then we're going to go the other way. Again, maybe that hip draws back, or maybe you'd like to keep the hips both facing front. Again, remember your choices. And if I don't offer you a choice, move intuitively. Again, remember, you are your perfect teacher. You know what you need. Shoulder can draw down. Again, you can keep the chin parallel or tucked in there if you'd like. Now on the next inhale, as we slowly come back to center, this time we're going to keep the arms low. We're going to reach them back behind. Now, fingertips can be on the mat behind you or your chair, your palms maybe. You can lean back a bit. You could look up. You could draw your shoulder blades together to back body. You might want to lean back and shrug up your shoulders. Again, whatever is best. This is a great way to open up your throat chakra, your energy here, your heart, your throat. When you're ready, we're going to lengthen back up. Take the hands to the legs. Find that beautiful length in spine. Now remember, when we come forward now, remember the flat back first. Remember, we talked about that a lot for safety. So the hands are going to come in front of you here. You're going to take a breath in, walk the hands forward. Keep the back flat. If you would like to round the spine, you certainly can. as you come down lower into the bow. See how this feels to you. Maybe rocking a bit side to side, maybe stillness. Again, whatever is best. Notice where the tensions, the tightness, as well as the openness might be in your body. And then begin to look toward the hands, walking back up. And as you do, again, roll the shoulders up and back and around. Reset. Beautiful. And come back home to heart. Hands will come on the legs now, or anywhere you like. Keep that lengthened spine, spinal stirs. We're going to stir around. Again, keeping your attention on yourself. How do these movements feel today? Where are the sensitivities in the body? There might even be pain in some parts of the body. Again, whatever is there, we honor it, we work with it. Coming back to center, lengthen again that beautiful spine. Grow tall. I know for some of us that's a challenge. We're going to be as tall as Diane, right? And Judy's tall. Lengthen again. And now we're going to stir around the spine the other way. Any way you didn't go. And if you're like me and you forget which way you started, just fake it till you make it. Stay with your breath. And remember, those longer exhales, if that serves you, coming back up to center and pause, those longer exhales can be wonderful to tap in and stimulate the relaxation response in the body. It can also be great for digestion. I know we talked about digestion a little bit, but any kind of longer exhale, any kind of compression in the body, and we'll be doing some of that later in cat-cow, that's all great for digestive health. Especially in the holidays, right? When we eat probably more than we should. I know I do. Again, just these things are so wonderful. The yoga philosophy and the practices, the ancient wisdom that is with us when we practice. So coming back to stillness, pause here. We're going to do a little bit more seated before we transition. So from here, we're going to lengthen out the legs. Now again, this can be done in the chair. You can put your legs on your table, right, Helen? Helen always had those creative ways to practice. Love it, love it. I think about you a lot when I'm practicing with my students. So Dandasana staff pose, right? Legs are straight and strong, and slight bend in the knees. Can always sit on a cushion if it feels better for your back. I know for some of us, sitting flat on a mat is a real challenge. So again, do what works for you. So from here, from Dandasana staff, we're going to lengthen through the crown, taking a breath. Now we're going to begin a flat back again, a bow from the waist. Hands will stay on the legs. You can pull the toes back or relax them, doesn't matter. And then we're going to come forward to as far as you would like. You can stay here in extension of the spine, or you can invite your head towards your knees. Maybe touching your toes or your shins or your thighs, wherever you touch. Remember not to force anything, right? No forcing. Not pushing beyond where we need to be, honoring ourselves, right? Taking care of ourselves. And then we're going to look forward to those beautiful toes. And then we're going to slowly come back up here. Good. Reset. Again, anytime you feel you're rounding forward with those shoulders, draw them back. I do that all day because I'm always coming forward these days. So with my arthritis challenges, I really find that helpful. Just resets me, whether I'm standing or seated. All right, so now we're going to keep the right leg where it is. We're going to bend that left leg, and we're going to place the foot close to or right on top of, I shouldn't say on top of, close to the extended leg. You can be further away or in, depends on how it feels to your hips, right? We're going to lengthen through the crown here. Take a breath in, and we're going to begin that hip hinge forward, reaching down toward the toes. Now, you can stay here looking at the toes. You can keep the same side hand on that leg, or you can release the other arm and reach up and rotate. Now that top arm can stay up. You can touch your shoulder if that feels better to your shoulder, or you can bring that arm behind your back, maybe gazing. Breathe here. Again, find where your neck feels best. Your drishti, your gaze can be anywhere. Some people like to close their eyes. It's all good. Again, if you're closing your eyes, focus on your third eye, right? That area right in between the eyebrows. We'll be working with that a bit later. And then release that back arm up and around, back on top where you started. Maybe head to knee, or maybe again that gaze straight up above the toes. Now, if you're bringing your head towards your knee, look toward the toes, take a breath in when you're ready, slowly come back up again. And as we do, we're going to extend both the legs out, lean back a bit, maybe tap them out. And we're going to go to second side. So sit up nice and tall. Again, lengthen. Other side here. Again, that foot can come right on near, I shouldn't say on top of, I mean next to the extended leg or further away, depending on your hips, on your body, on your choices. Hands lightly on that extended leg. Lengthen again. Begin that bow forward, keep an eye above those toes so you have some nice alignment here. Stay with your beautiful breath. Now you can stay here. You can keep that same side hand on that extended leg and release the other arm. You might want a rotation on this side. See how this feels to you. Arm can stay up if you raised it up or behind the back. Breathe, smile. Release that arm, bring it back up and around, and decide again if you want to stay here or do you want to bring your head toward your knee. Doesn't have to be on top of your knee. Again, wherever you can be is perfect. Now, looking toward those toes, take a breath in. On the exhale, slowly coming up. Leaning back a bit now. Before we transition hands and knees, we're going to do a little bit of rock side to side. Now, you can have the knees together. You can have the knees wide. Whatever is best for you. Feet can stay on that table, Helen. And then rock, maybe a bit side to side. Now, if leaning back on the arms with the shoulders, Helene, is troublesome for you, I know I haven't spoken to you, I hope you're feeling okay, you can always lay down, right? And do the same movement here that we do a lot of times at the end of practice. No, it's not Shavasana yet, Helene. No, don't go there yet. I remember that. Good. Another variation which might feel good to some of you is instead of your knees wide, actually touching the knees with the feet out. You're not going to rock this necessarily. I mean, you could a little. You could rock it. It's more of an internal rotation of the hip. It's just a different orientation, right? So again, the choices of what feels best to you, that's the most important thing, okay? So you could stay, right? You could keep them wide. You could lie on your back and rock. Okay, or the legs could be together. Whatever's best. So we're going to complete that now, and we're going to begin our slow and mindful transition now to hands and knees. Now, those of you that we're going to be coming into some quadruped options. So remember, multiple choice here, right? You can kneel, opposite arm, opposite leg, take care of the knees. Judy, Diane, my knee ladies, right? Make sure you have some padding under there. You can also be on your mat, right? Opposite arm, opposite leg, or in your chair. I do happen to have a chair here, which we'll use later for the sun salutations. But remember, I know you remember this, but I'm just giving you some more demo here, right? As you lean back, engage the core, opposite arm, opposite leg here, okay? So whatever is best for you. Get this out of the way for now. So I'm going to choose to kneel, but again, I want you all to find whatever start position, whatever feels best to you. Now the other thing, if you're kneeling, besides your knees is your wrists, taking care of your wrists, right? Maybe forearms are better. Maybe placing hands on blocks. I know a lot of you don't have blocks, but I would encourage you to think about getting some lightweight, soft yoga blocks. They can be really nice. They come in different heights, but they can be really nice to place your wrist on or to use them like I did in the beginning to support the knees. So it's just a thought. They come in lovely colors. If you need any info, let me know. All right, started. We're going to move into cat-cow first. So, start position. On the inhale, lift the tailbone, look forward. Oh, I love cat-cow. On the exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine, arch the back. This can be done seated, standing, on your back, kneeling, and move continually through. Lifting the tailbone, breathing on the inhale, and then rounding, exhale, exhale. The cat-cow, continue to move, please. The cat-cow is one of my favorites with connecting breath with movement. It's a really great way to expand on the inhale and round, and exhale, exhale as you round. So again, if that serves you, that longer exhale, it's a perfect place to practice that. Good. One or two more here. Pausing. Good. Now we're going to take a little break for a moment. We're going to let the wrists relax so we can sink back to child or puppy. So you remember, right? Puppy, hips up in the air. Child, the hips are further back. Arms can be extended. You can have one hand on top of the other. Forehead on the top of the top hand maybe. Connect to third eye. Stay with your wisdom, right? Honor that. That deep knowing, right? That we all have. We all have it. So trust it. Trust it. So now from here, we're going to go back to our start position for our quadruped. Sorry, my back is talking to me a little bit today. I got to kink it out here. All right, that feels a little better. Okay, so now we're going to come into our variations and options, right? So from our start position, first option would be the opposite arm, opposite leg now. So we're going to come in from cat-cow. We're going to lengthen that right leg. Left arm, thumb up, pause here, breathe, breathe. Remember to look at the top of the mat. I remember Judy, that was a great adjustment Judy used to make, where she first was looking down and then she started looking to the top of the mat. That gets her spine in beautiful alignment. So I can picture you, Judy, doing that. And then relax that side. Let it go. And let's go to second side now. Remember those, if you're on weight bearing on the arms, you want to make sure your knees, not the knees, your elbows are slightly bent, okay? So you can see I'm still a little goofy, ladies. I haven't lost that. Probably getting more goofy as I get older, right? Alrighty, left leg now. Quadruped this side, right arm. Remember with the thumb up on this one, it opens up your shoulders a bit more. You can always have the palm down. That's an option for sure. But the thumb up is an external rotation of the shoulder. Just opens it up a bit more. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Are we breathing? I hope so. Relax everything. Maybe come to forearms or tuck in knees toward the chest if you're on your back. If you're in your chair, you're going to drape over. Release, relax. Let anything go that doesn't serve you. Again, you are so important. Take care of yourselves. So now we're going to do one more thing with some other variations, and then we'll come to standing. So, start position again one last time, right leg, left arm. You might stay here. You might move into diagonal, left arm to the left, right leg to the right, or bend the right knee, reach back toward the foot. You might touch it, you might not. It's okay. Stay with the breath. Release that side. Let it go. Maybe take a moment to notice how one side feels to the other, right? After you've done a movement or an asana on one side and not the other. That's introspective awareness. Turn that attention in. All right, second side. Option 1, opposite arm leg. Option 2, diagonal. Option 3, bend, reach back, maybe get the foot, maybe not. Breathing and breathing. Again, you're looking to the top of your mat if you're kneeling. So you're keeping your head in line with the spine. Release that, relax, child pose or puppy, take a breath. Just let it go, relax, relax for a moment. Whew. Check in. Notice how you feel. Notice how you feel. So now from here, we're going to begin our transition to standing, okay? So remember how we used to take that nice slow, and I still hope you're doing that, the transition up from the earth to lengthen, because that's a big transition, okay? So take your time, and remember, always remember, you always have your hands connected to something as you're coming up, okay? You want to make sure that you have that. And once you're up here, maybe a couple rolls of the shoulders here, right? Because now we have to orient ourselves to standing, which is a lot more of a challenge than the seated variations, okay? So we have to think about our alignment again, right? Ears, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, all lined up. Lengthen through the crown. Invite the hands home to heart. Pause here. Nice. And then release. Now, I'm going to be moving now into sun salutations with the chair, with the wall. I have changed sun salutations just a little bit, so pay attention, pay attention. All right, so let's find our chairs, set up our spot here. And this is my yoga studio where I do all my virtual and my virtual training. I love this space. So I'm happy to share it with you. So feel ourselves again, reset, connecting to the earth, coming to wherever we're going to be practicing, the wall, the chair. Invite the hands home to heart. Good. Now, there's a few things I've changed with this since the last time I've seen you. So you're going to hear a few things you probably haven't heard from me before. So again, if it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't work for you, please just go back to the way that we used to do things. There's a few variations and some things, again, that I want to share with you that might be helpful to you, okay? So, palms home to heart. Now, on the inhale, we're going to rise up in sun breath. Now, here's one of those options here. As we first rise up, again, you can look up with the eyes or tilt the chin. If you want to have a little bit of a back bend here, the recommendation in the beginning of the first back bend is to arch back from your scapula, your wings on your upper back. Remember, we always used to talk about pressing the hips forward, and you can still do that. You can still do that. But in the initial sun salutations from Yoga for Arthritis, the recommendation is to arch back from the scapula first, because that's a little less of a back bend intensity. So options. You can arch back from there, or the bottoms of the ribs, or press the hips forward. Again, whatever works for you. Now, we're going to look forward and swan dive. Elbows are going to bend, or the arms can be straight, flat back, same as we used to. Hands are going to come to the legs or to your chair or your wall, and you're going to fold. Now, here is another variation. Knees are going to be bent a lot if you want this one. Bend the knees a lot. Maybe grasp opposite elbows as long as the knees are bent and you feel you have enough support on your back. If you don't like this, please bring the hands back to your legs or to your chair. Now, bringing the hands to the legs or the chair, half lift. So remember, you're going to look forward. You're going to straighten your knees a bit maybe. Lift the tailbone. Exhale, fold. Now, we're going to look toward the chair or to the wall. Hands are going to be connected. We're going to stay close to the chair. This is a variation now. Left leg stepping back here. This is where we usually go to plank right away, right? This is an option to add a high lunge here. So, if your left leg is back, you can keep your hands on your chair, your hands on your legs, or you might even want to rise up. Again, that gentle back bend. Now from here, bringing the hands back to your support, we're going to step back to plank. Engage straight and strong core. Remember all of that? Sure you do. Good. From here, bend the elbows a bit, press the hips forward, moving into up dog if you would like. And then float back to down dog. Maybe walk the dog out. Maybe turn and look under one arm and then under the other. Again, whatever's good. Pause here. Now, look forward towards your wall or to your chair. Step up with the right leg now on this side. So you're on high lunge this side. Again, hands can stay on the chair, on the legs, or up. Float the hands back down to your support. Bring your left leg up to meet the right. Pause and fold. Uttanasana. So here's another option with that bent knees to grasp opposite elbows if you like that variation. Or hands on your chair, or on your wall, or on your legs. Half lift on your inhale. Maybe straighten those knees a bit. Stretch the hamstrings. Fold on your exhale. Press through the feet, rise up through sun breath. Now in this back bend, if you want, you can arch back from your lower ribs or your hips. And then bring the hands home to heart in Anjali Mudra. Pause here. We're going to do this one more time. Inhale, rise up, gentle back bend. Exhale, swan dive, elbows bent or straight, back is flat. Hands connect to your chair, to your legs, to your mat, and fold. Maybe bending the knees even more and grasping opposite elbows. Or wrists, opposite wrists, whatever's good. Now hands come back to the legs on the inhale, half lift. Maybe straighten the knees a bit, tailbone lifts. Exhale, fold. Now, looking up towards your chair or to the wall, hands are going to connect. This time the right leg steps back to high lunge first. And again, if you don't like this variation, you can go right to plank, okay? This is additional, just another option. So many ways to do sun salutations. Coming back here, now we're coming to plank, straight and strong, solid as a beam here. Breathe, breathe. Bend the elbows maybe and press right into up dog. Press those hips forward, gaze up. Let those shoulders draw down. Try not to let them shrug up. Float back to down dog here. Maybe walk the dog. Good. Pause and hold. Look forward. Left leg now steps up into high lunge. Find your arms. Float back down. Right leg comes up to meet the left. Uttanasana. Half lift on the inhale. Fold on your exhale. Press to the feet, rise up. Any back bend you want here. Arms can be overhead. Arms can be behind your head or into your low back. You can press forward from the hips, whatever is best for you. And then release the hands home to heart in Anjali Mudra. Pause here, breathe. I hope you're all doing well. Excellent. So again, if you prefer the old way of doing it, instead of adding the high lunges, you can just omit that, go right into plank. But I just wanted to share that with you, okay? So now we're going to move into tree pose. Of course, I have to add tree in our yoga class because that's the asana I associate most with you. I remember that beautiful photo against the wall with all of you in tree pose, all right? So using your chair, using the wall, whatever you would like, we're going to move into tree pose. Again, celebrating any of the holidays. They know we're all different in terms of how we celebrate. So you can be any type of tree or bush or anything you want to be to come into tree pose. I also chose it because the interconnection of the roots, that I feel like we're all connected. This group to me, me to you, all connected, staying connected still. So remember how we used to start this, I'm sure you still do this, rocking side to side, stimulating those feet. Remember the proprioceptors, right? Now we're going to root into the right leg first. I'm going to see this on an angle. Your left leg, now you can bend the knee and place the ball of the foot down and rotate that leg out. That leg can be further away from your standing leg, which is a bigger base, right? Which is a little bit easier for balance for some of us. Some people like a hand on the wall. I have a bar here, a bar. It's a whole other story. I digress. Sorry about that, Ruth. Okay, so then you could also bring that heel to the connected leg here, right? And if you're balanced, you can test your balance, right? See how it feels, maybe to bring that foot off. Find your supports. Find your hands home to heart when you're ready. And then find your tree branches. Any way that you would like. Again, find your tree. Rooting to the earth. Relax that side. Let it go. Shake it out. Good. And now second side, right? So left leg now anchored. Right leg, we're going to rotate it out. Again, you decide. And this can be done seated too. I forgot to mention that, but I know you know that. Ball the foot down. You could be further away or close. You could connect the ball of the foot to the leg. You could maybe test the balance, right? See how this feels. Maybe the side of the foot comes below the knee. You just don't want to be on the side of the kneecap. That's not a good idea for reasons of knee safety, right? So we're going to find where we want to be in tree. And we're going to find our branches here. Just thinking of the interconnectivity, the roots, holding each other up, supporting each other, which is what we do. And then let that tree go, shake it out, relax it, chillax it. Remember that? Hunter used to say that. Rock and rock. You could do some hula hoopy, standing, whatever feels good. Whatever feels good. All righty. Widening out, these are for Ruth, widening out the feet. Warrior series. Standing tall. Again, legs are sometimes a little wider than we think that they would be in warrior. Hands are on the hips. Start with that right foot, turn to the right, and the left leg turn in a bit. And we're going to straighten and bend into this knee. Remember the cue of looking down and seeing your toes to make sure that you're in alignment. You don't want that knee to roll in or roll out. You want it to be more kind of in the center of that foot. Now we're going to find our warrior two as we line up the knee above the ankle. You can be a little bit more forward. You just don't want to be way forward here, okay? Remember, your body weight is in the center of the posture, connection. Extending the arms. Now remember, you can have the palms up like this, stop, or you can relax the arms. And you're looking over that right arm. If you feel your shoulders are shrugging up, you can flip your palms up. That automatically drops your shoulders. I do that a lot. That's another thing my shoulders are always doing. Okay, now straightening the right knee. Float the back hand lightly. You want a light touch here. The right arm is going to float up, turn the palm to the back, and lean back in reverse warrior. This is an opening for the side body, as well as a slight back bend here. Find your drishti. Find your gaze. On the inhale again, back to warrior two. Sinking into your power here. Connecting to your warrior spirit. Right hand to the right thigh, left arm up, coming into right angle. Now you can bring your forearm to that thigh if you'd like. You can draw that top shoulder back a bit. Another variation would be to bring that arm behind you like we did earlier. Maybe gazing over that shoulder. Again, choices, right? And then release that. Back to warrior two one more time. Relax that side. Facing the mat the long way. Toes are turned out a bit. Lengthen. Palms facing out. 5-pointed star. Beautiful star. Right on top of that tree that we were just in before, right? Shining brightly. You're all bright lights. Incredibly bright lights. Hands on the hips. Second side, warrior. Left foot turns out, right foot turns in. Straighten and bending into that knee now. See how this side feels. Remember, if there's any twinges in there, you're only going to bend a little, right? Just modify or change up the range of motion. And if it really hurts to bend it, you can always keep the legs straight. Or you could sit. Remember your sitting option. Loads of seated options here, which I didn't do a lot of. Okay, here, and then finding your warrior two. Maybe you like to stop. Maybe you like to relax. Draw the shoulders down. Straighten that left leg. Float the hand down. Lengthen up. Spin the palm to the back and come into your reverse warrior. Find your gaze. Stay with your breath. And the next inhale, warrior two again. Nice. Right angle. Hand to the thigh, arm up, reaching. Again, maybe forearm. Maybe arm wrapping around you. Whatever's good. Good. And release back. Come up to warrior two. One more time. Relax the arms. Walk the hands and feet together. Shake it out. Nicely done. Nicely done. I'm just keeping an eye on my time here. Okay, good. I wanted this to be 60 minutes for you. All right, so now we're going to make our way down to the mat on our backs to walk through the ab series, the Pilates ab series. And then just to refresh on that, I know you're doing it. I just want to make sure, again, that that we're fine-tuning anything you may need. And then your straps at the end, I'd like to do the leg series, possibly if time permits. All right, so however you want to get down to the mat. However, take the transition, nice and easy, onto your back. And take a moment to settle, right? Once you're down there. There's no rush, or on your chair. Your legs can be up on your table. Slowly coming down here. And just feel the support, once again, beneath. Good. I know for some people it takes a minute for us to kind of settle in on our back. So just again, find what you can do. That low back is imprinted, so you have that nice connection. Hands are down by the sides. Now we're going to move into toe taps here, preparatory for the ab 5. So the knees are above the hips, the hands are down. Now some of you prefer to raise the head up, feel free. Take a breath in, right toe tap, exhale, left. Now remember your breathing, forceful exhalation through the mouth, like you're blowing out a candle. Here. Make sure when you're moving, your low back is staying connected to the mat. Good. 2 more here. Nice. 1 more each side. Perfect. Now, keeping those legs up, raise the head up if it's not already up. Take your hands to your right leg. Right hand on the outside, left hand on the inside. Lengthen that left leg, and then switch. So remember, you're lengthening through the legs, exhaling and that knee coming in towards your face. Use your hands to support your legs, but not to pull yourself up. You want your abdominals to do that. If your head gets cranky, your neck gets cranky like mine always does, feel free to bring a hand back there. Good. No more than 10. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Breathing. Good. And once you're complete, take a little mini vacation here. Take a breath, especially that head, the back, just let everything relax here. Stay with your breath, stay with your concentration. Okay, double straight leg next. Now you can repeat single, tuck up into a ball, head can be down or up. Hands on the outsides of the ankles. Inhale, extend the arms and legs out. Exhale, pulling in. And remember Pilates stance here. Heels are touching. Inner thighs are drawing in toward one another here. Inhaling, exhaling. The more intensity, the lower the legs are to the floor. The less intensity, the more the legs are up. Okay? So continuing to move here. Again, no more than 10, no more than 10. And remember, you want to do them as best you can. Remember, the philosophy of Pilates is, you do 5 or 4 really good ones. You don't want to push through when you start to lose your form. It's all about precision and form and breath. Okay, so after that one, again, take a little breath here, relax everything down, see how you feel. And now we're going to move into single straight leg, moving into the straight leg part of this series. Right leg lengthens, reach up toward that ankle, left leg extends. And then we switch. You can do a double pulse, remember that if you like. With a double breath, exhale, exhale, or you can stay with the singles. Again, the length of the legs is key. Like I'm pulling you from your ankles, right? Lengthening here. Breathe. Good. Good. Go at your own speed. Do what you can. And again, take a break at the end for each of these because they're so intense. Midway through, I always like to take a little breath and rock the knees side to side. They can be together or wide like we did earlier. The knees can touch or not. Just again, letting those back muscles and those abdominal muscles get a little bit of a break here. Okay, now we're moving into double straight leg. A couple reminders here. If you're going to keep your head down and your hands underneath your body, you can do that. Start the legs up always in Pilates stance. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you come up. Option 2, head up, hands behind the head. Remember, fingers are open here. You don't want to pull on your neck. Pilates stance here. Inhale. And then exhale, coming up. This is the hardest one, in my opinion. It's the high risk one. Why? Because, keep going, because you're moving both of those legs at the same time. They're in a straight position, which is more intense than bent, right? So you're finding what you can do. Remember, you don't want to compromise your imprint of that low back. As you're coming down toward the mat, make sure that low back is connected, okay? That you're not arching off the mat, because that's not good for your back. And again, take a breath. When you're done, again, anytime you can circle, rock. There you go. And then, of course, last but not least, Diane's favorite is crisscross. I remember that too. All right. Remember, again, we don't want to pull up on our neck here, so we want fingers really wide, elbows wide. We're going to rotate toward the bent knee, center, other side, center. So think of the shoulder coming toward the knee, not the elbow. Try not to even see the elbow in your vision. Keep the elbows back if you can. Again, you're exhaling toward the knee that's coming toward the face. Good. Again, the lower the extended leg, the more intensity. Good. Couple more. Again, no more than 10. Keep going. And then when you're done, take a moment to bring those knees down, let the head relax. Maybe again, rocking a bit. You might like the feet up off the mat. You might want to rock. You might want to circle or figure 8, right? Whatever's good. Placing the feet onto the mat. They can be further away or close. This is a gentle baby bridging now, just to close out here. We're not going to do anything intense. Hands are down by the side. Remember, you're looking up. You don't want to tuck your chin in a bridge. Take a breath in. When you're ready on the exhale, begin to lift those hips off. Again, it can be a small movement. You don't have to be way up as high as you can go. Toward the end of practice, when we offer a bridge, it's not about the intensity here. It's almost like a legs up the wall inversion. It's more of a relaxation posture. And it's a great one to take a block under that sacrum. If anyone has a block, and pop it under there, it can be a great restorative way to practice. And then you're going to slowly come down. Now I'm going to walk you through, just as a reminder, of the leg extension series. And then I'm going to move you into Shavasana, but that's when I'm going to close out the practice so that you can practice Shavasana on your own, and then come back and close out the practice for today, okay? But before I go, I want to invite you into the use of your strap for the leg extension series here. So lying on the back, once again, or in your chair, let's loop under the right arch, straightening that right leg. Now remember, the strap could be at the arch or the ball of the foot, toes can pull in. That's a different feeling for most of us than if we're at the arch. So either way, come into stillness here. Right leg extends, right hip connects to the mat, lengthen. Now we're going to take both ends of the strap in the right hand. The left arm is going to come out to the left to anchor to the mat. And then we're going to float this right leg to the right. Now, your right elbow can come down. The big thing for safety is you don't want to roll off the back body. Keep those shoulder blades connected. Keep the hip bones connected if you can. Your left leg can float to the left if you like, kind of a counterbalance here. Your gaze can be straight ahead or to the opposite, so you could turn your head to the left maybe. Let that leg melt in space here. And then we're going to slowly bring that leg up, straighten your left leg out, cross the strap into the left hand, anchor, right arm. Now here, your shoulder blade stays, but your hip peels off. Again, head can turn to the right or straight, whatever's good. You can also bend that top leg. You could straighten it. Yeah, whatever's good. This is, again, remember, IT band, SI joint, really good for this. Slowly come back up. Now, we're going to transition left foot into strap here. Right foot drops out. Find the length. Again, the strap at the arch or the ball of the foot. Both ends of the strap in the left hand now. Right knee might float to the right. I like that for me because I help to feel more balanced when I do that. Left leg to the left, right arm to the right. Anchor that body so that the right knee and the right arm anchor the right side body. And that's important because we don't want that to be rolling off the mat. And then slowly bring this left leg back up. Straighten the right leg. Now to give ourselves room, cross the strap into right hand. This is where that leg floats over. The hip peels off the mat, but the shoulder blades stay. Head can turn to the left or straight ahead. Stay with your breath. Slowly bring that left leg back to center. Pause here. Release that. Give yourself any final movements. And now I'm going to invite you to begin to settle and find your perfect Shavasana. So on your back, maybe supported in your chair, maybe lying on your side, whatever you would like. I'm going to be closing out this video with a blessing from the Buddha, the Metta blessing, and then I'll stop the video, but I will encourage you to stay in Shavasana as long as you would like. So as you're settling into Shavasana and closing your eyes, taking in these words of loving kindness. May you be loved and loving. May you be safe from harm. May you be as healthy as you can be in this moment. May you be at ease and happy. It's been so wonderful for me to be back with you in practicing yoga and Pilates. I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Love you all, miss you all. Namaste.